All right, now we have it. The first game of the MSI semifinals. We have Fnatic, who was able to just squeak by, beating Team Liquid in that epic tiebreaker. Both of them tied at 4-6, and they were just being able to get out. And then we have Royal Never Give Up, who's looked really hot and cold this tournament, with their highs being quite high and their lows being quite low. Some of the players we want to watch on Fnatic's side, of course, the hard carries being Caps and Reckless, and then over on Royal Never Give Up, we have Uzi is by far the biggest carry, but Zhao Hu is also doing quite well this tournament as a number 2 carry. Now, what's very interesting is we're seeing Karsa sub in here for RNG, where he has been sitting of late, but of course is the former Flash Wolves star jungler who has not looked very good in the last couple of months. So we're going to see how he performs here in the first game of the semifinals. So a lot of the bans targeting the bot lane, with Caitlyn being picked up real quick for Uzi, and a real standard jungler in Skarner being able to pick up for Karsa. Now, the first pick for Reckless and Fnatic was the Ezreal, and that's the reason why Caitlyn it was immediately picked up after, as it's a very, very strong matchup for Caitlyn, and one that Ezreal generally tries to avoid. Following up, we have the standard counter to Skarner when we have Fnatic picking up the Olaf, followed up by the safe and mobile Talia. Talia going to be able to affect the side lanes, going to be able to push against most mid laners, and will have an opportunity to go bottom lane, as we're expecting Caitlyn to be able to push up against Ezreal and hit the tower. So Talia is going to want to get level 6 as soon as possible, and then either head top or, already seeing the matchup for bot lane, more likely head towards the bot. There we could see, not the highest pick and ban rate, but very, very high win rate at 80%. Most likely 4 wins, 1 loss, looking at that percentage. The top lane bans keep coming up for RNG, with Gangplank being their first round second ban. Next after that, we're having Ornn targeting this safe top lane pick from Let Me. Another, we're having a support taken away from Hillisang. Been playing fairly well, decently well here so far in this tournament. Alistar being a number 3, number 4 type of support so far in this tournament meta, and a general pick against Braum, because you're able to knock Braum away from the AD carry. And what's this? Oh wow, we have an Aurelia picked up. Wow, that's the first time we see this, and I can't wait for this top lane matchup. And Aurelia picked up in the top lane. This is the new reworked, uh, fairly hard carrying, and yes, we've seen it. It was played a couple of times, 1 win and a couple of losses here at 33% win rate, but very, very exciting. And you can do that when you already have picked up 2 tanks in the Skarner and the Braum. You can go ahead and pick a carry top lane, but the danger of that is that the top lane will be able to get a counter pick, and Scion would be very safe, but it would mean a lot of tank on Fnatic, with only a couple of partial damage dealers in Ezreal, Olaf, and Talia. Not really too much burst damage. Lots of tank in the Olaf, Tom Kench, and Scion. So this is going to be fairly standard picks on all sides, with the Aurelia being the real standout, Vladimir being a safe pick in the mid lane. Although they can switch it up. It is possible. It is going to be Aurelia mid lane, Vladimir top, and that's what it is. I hope they keep it on this. This is going to be so interesting. Aurelia taking into Talia. Talia is going to be having the range advantage, going to be having the push advantage. But if Aurelia can get ahead, it is going to be a most interesting game. RNG does have more damage in their comp than Fnatic, but Fnatic having a little bit more movement around the map with the Tom Kench and the Talia being able to affect the side lanes, help out the jungler, but not quite a whole lot of damage to be found in their comp. And it's going to be interesting to see if Sion can push up against the Vladimir there in the top lane. But this is, of course, Vladimir picking into the Sion, so knowing what he's picking into. And RNG really executed that draft extremely well, getting counter picks on every lane. Well, not necessarily traditional counter picks, but they knew what they were picking into. First, Fnatic picking Ezreal, immediately RNG picking up Caitlyn. That's a counter lane. You see the Talia being picked up for Fnatic. What RNG then does is picks Aurelia, which you assume would be in the top lane, but no, is in fact going to be in the mid lane up against Talia. Yes, I do like the matchup for Talia in the early or the early part of mid game as well. So the early game and the first part of the mid game, I do like the Talia there against the Aurelia, but you just can't let that Aurelia get anything going for her. And then in the top lane, Sion was picked up by Fnatic, and then RNG picking right into the Sion with the Vladimir. So knowing exactly where everyone's going around the map and every lane, RNG being able to pick exactly what they want into Fnatic, but of course Fnatic do having the favorable jungle matchup with Broxa getting the Olaf, and which he picked into Karsa's Skarner. But I have to say that's a pretty small hindrance. It's not going to be too much of a problem here for RNG as long as Olaf is not getting too much of a lead in the jungle. But very, very cheeky coming to 4 people inside this brush. That's including the top laner. And they might be going for a delayed invade. But this ward is going to see them out. And they're just going to be getting the Spire there. Olaf being seen. This should be favorable for Skarner. He does see that Olaf is going up there. So nothing too unusual. Fnatic's a little bit dangerous here because RNG knows they're getting the red buff. Karsa and Skarner not wanting to give over all his camps is just going to pull this one out. Just able to get level 2, throwing down the ward, and 2 camps are going to be taken on that top red side. This is really a pushing the wave here, getting that quick level 2. Try to be aggressive early in the mid lane. This, you just have all kinds of range here for the Caitlyn. What you want to do is you want to stand right behind your farthest minion up, just so that Ezreal can't hit you with the Q. Just stand as far up as possible behind a minion and keep poking Ezreal every time he comes up to get a CS. It is an extremely annoying bot lane if you're on the Ezreal side. Vladimir here not minding taking too much poke damage as he can just regen with his Q. Skarner picking up that Scuttle Crab, going to continue his jungle route. Olaf will be able to complete the 3 buff if he goes down and gets the red. A lot of damage going on to the Vladimir. That was very close to being for being a kill if Vladimir was not able to cool in time. Not going to take too many chances, just going to head back. Does have Spellbook. Switched over to teleport. Going to be teleporting back in here at 3 minutes 20 seconds. Sion, of course, does have the Comet for the increased poke damage, increased wave clear as well. While we were watching that top lane, Olaf was able to take the bottom red buff, so that's able to refresh for him. Got a 1 cap advantage over the Skarner, and that just happened to be Skarner's red buff. Talia just going to put some vision here. Just seeing that the camp does not respawn, does not see Skarner there. We'll be able to see him if he goes into this bush, and now have clear vision of the jungler. A little bit of trouble here for the Vladimir, getting caught in a 2-on-1. This is a double buff Olaf, being able to get all kinds of damage before, and then got double flash going right after the Olaf. Olaf, of course, gets the extra attack when he's low health. Sion trying everything he can to pick up that kill, just barely able to get it. Had to trade his summoner to get him. This is Sion with no flash. Talia picking up the kill on the side. 2-2. Gold is still even. Flash. This is a lot of trouble for Braum. Braum's not going to be able to get out of this. The only question is who's going to get the kill. And Reckless picking up that ever important first kill on the bot lane, especially in this counter lane. Going to be able to get his tier, his first tier stacking up, as in this tournament they started doing the double tier build. And this was an issue here for Let Me. He gets caught, he knows he's in trouble. Very aggressive for Karsa going in. But picking that up quickly, Aurelius coming in here to get the damage. Sion knows if he's not going to get him while alive, he probably would have get him while he's dead. There's the zombie, keeps doing some damage. And having the 3 procs for Kench, being able to flash directly after Braum, picking him up, throwing him back to his teammate. Reckless getting that tier and the Sheen on the first back. Really, really good first buy for the Ezreal. Caitlyn with a not as good Berserker Greaves, just wanting to have that extra movement and attack speed. Would probably prefer to start the BF sword, but that costs a little bit more than the second level boots. Uzi's not going to let a little first kill ruin his counter lane. That is Uzi with a teleport. That is a triple teleport RNG with double spellbook. Theoretically, Ming as Braum for RNG could switch up to teleport as well to have a quad teleport team. Super unusual. Definitely different than the standard meta for this tournament. Fnatic, because of being able to pick up that third kill on Ezreal, does have a 600 gold lead. But despite the first kill, Uzi does have a fair bit of damage onto this bot lane turret, down to about 60% health. And he's just going to keep poking him. Ezreal desperately trying to counter with some Qs of his own, using that Sheen proc. Gang coming up on the top. And ultimate used from Sion. Not too much of an issue. Doesn't have flash up just yet. It's got another 2 minutes on that cooldown. And just has to be a little bit more careful until he gets that flash come back up. Slight CS lead from the Talia over the Aurelia, but that's as to be expected. Frankly, 10 is not too bad at this point. And it appears to be a 2-on-2. They're trading damage. Zhao Hu's getting all kinds of damage taken on him, but able to get the first kill. Ragnarok just running out. Predator's going to be used to try to get back into the jungle and to keep farming. RNG swinging back to 3-3, only 400 down. Lots of kills around the map. First dragon is an Infernal. It should be fought over sometime in the next 5 minutes. give a slight advantage to Fnatic, as the Olaf tends to be a little bit of a better Dragon Taker than the Skarner, as well as Fnatic should have a pushing mid lane with the Talia being able to have a slightly better push than the Aurelia. Picking up that second blue here is Aurelia. Gonna really like that for the cooldowns. Sion just back, does have teleport available, and is going to teleport back to top lane. Vladimir's pointing that out right now with a ping in top. His teleport's about another 2 minutes away, so in about 2 minutes, RNG is going to have a couple minute window about where they can have a fight either in bot lane or towards the dragon, because Vladimir is going to be able to teleport much sooner than the Sion. Damage onto Caps. Doing the correct targeting. Everything focused onto Caps. Being able to burst him down before Xiaohu is taken out. Attack damage items built for both AD carries. Caitlyn getting that much preferred BF sword, and Ezreal doing what he can and has the pickaxe to go along with that sheen. RNG is going to try to pick up this Infernal Dragon, and it looks like that they're going to get it without any sort of contest. Fnatic just a little bit slow on the respawn, but there's not much they could have done in that situation. A little bit of body blocking from the Scuttle Crab, and the axe just missing out. This should not be too much of an issue anymore. Yes, Xiaohu is going to lose a wave and a half in mid lane, but does have the much preferred first Infernal Dragon. Next dragon up is the Cloud. Lots of hits onto the Tahm Kench. Caitlyn just keeps targeting, and there's no way Kench is getting out there. Uzi picking up the kill on the support. Evening out the gold now, but with that first dragon, RNG is coming out slightly ahead. 1 kill on each one of their members except for the support. Excellent kill distribution from the Chinese squad. So RNG going to go back, going to spend the gold that they've been able to accumulate. They're gonna head back to bottom lane. Now the goal of the RNG bot lane is to knock out that bot lane turret, which should be at less than half health. Kench coming up. There's a 3-on-1 onto Aurelia. Aurelia knows that she's in a lot of trouble, is dodging and dancing, but Kench is going to be able to have that last hit. Doesn't want to take it. In fact, gives it over to Caps. Now sitting at 2 kills. Is the star mid laner for Fnatic, just having the tournament of a lifetime. Damage being able to trade back and forth. Let me not having too much of an issue with that. Is Vladimir can regen, does have teleport, does have spellbook to increase that cooldown. Good communication. Kench making the play. Elisang knowing where he had the opportunity. Aurelia was just a little bit too far away from the tower. Olaf with the Ragnarok tanking the tower shots, and with those additional defenses, that additional armor, taking less turret damage than you otherwise would normally. Manamune finished for Ezreal. Excellent timing here at the 13-minute mark. Has the Boots of Lucidity as well to just keep proccing those Qs, Had to sell the pickaxe to get that, but so it's going to be having a stacking Manamune, but does not have the attack damage that you would normally get with the pickaxe. Scion proxying just a little bit. Gonna be able to knock this wave out. Very high level top lane play. RNG hiding in the bushes, possibly trying to set up a play onto the jungler. Ultimate used, the suppress down onto Caps. They're going to try to get as much damage as possible, knocking him out. Teleport coming down. Fight going on in the bot lane. This is 2 kills picked up for RNG, and they're looking to get a little bit more, and they absolutely are against the Olaf. Whoa, Olaf getting one back, traded from the Skarner. But RNG comes out all kinds of ahead, 5 kills to 7 in favor of RNG. And not only that, but there's nothing that Fnatic can do to defend this turret. They're possibly going to push one more wave, and then in all likelihood, this Caitlyn is going to head up towards top lane and start working towards that top lane turret. And excellent map rotation and pick plays from RNG, all set up there around the dragon, around that scuttle crab rather, in the bot side of the map. And here Karsa is calling out the play. Flashes into the ultimate, getting the suppress down onto Caps, who flashes back towards his jungler, just not able to survive long enough for Let Me to get him down and change the course of this fight. Frankly, it's pretty fortunate that Olaf was able to get any sort of trading kill back there. If Aurelia just kept running, might have been enough to lead off Olaf just long enough for him to go down. Gold lead emerging 2,000, very close for RNG, and this is the biggest lead of the match so far. Fnatic having very small leads, but RNG changing that. Here, Fnatic's going to make a play onto the Braum. They have 4 members here in the top. They're certainly going to get him, but what can RNG do on the other side of the map? They're not done with that. They have 5 members here in the top. They get a double kill on top. They're going to knock down this top turret, and who else is going to head back? Looks like Talia is going to head back with Scion, going to go head towards the bot and mid lane, where RNG is continuing to push, and they are getting a double kill in exchange for this dragon. So double kill for Fnatic, including a pushing pressure on top lane with the turret for the dragon. So a positive exchange for Fnatic. But RNG picking up this second dragon, and they're just going to continue to stack here at 17 minutes. 2 dragons over for RNG. And let's take a peek at what this next dragon's going to be. And an Infernal. This is exactly what RNG was looking for. Flash away from Hylissang. Did not want to get caught there, despite him being the tanky Kedge with the Quicksilver Sash, the only one on his team to have one so far, including a very impressive 7 control wards from Fnatic, as well having the Rift Herald. So Fnatic starting to put the tools in their favor, and a couple more Quicksilver Sashes are going to need to be built on their team to stop Karsa from being able to target anyone he wants on the Skarner. All started with the CC from Scion. Kench just hanging towards the back. There's Caps blocking off the entrance. Uzi knows there's nothing he can do at this point. Just tries to get as much damage as possible. Excellent team coordination and map movement from Fnatic. Fighting for vision. Just got there from Karsa, using the smite to pick up. And a couple more autos onto the tower should be enough, but they're not going for the tower. They're going for the players. Karsa nearly dead, finished off from Broxa. And then in turn, killed by Aurelia. And these objectives keep stacking up for RNG. Even gold. Let Me getting slowed down by constantly getting CC'd. Baron's up in a minute, but it doesn't seem like either team has enough of a lead to make a play for that. Fnatic currently having the vision around the Baron pit, as you can see, 5 wards, which include 2 control wards, illuminating the pit. RNG will want to make sure not to lose that. Here, we're seeing the Rift Herald go in. Teleport come from the backside. I didn't see that because of the camera focus. And here, Let Me is just going to head right into the back line of Fnatic using the Sanguine Pool to survive. And Xiaohu getting as much damage as possible, picking up the double kill. Now at 4-2 and 2 with 1.5 items and second level boots for the Aurelia, and she's almost at. You could even argue she is at. I think she might need a couple more levels and another completed item, but she will be that split pushing monster that Fnatic cannot answer. And really, the only one you could put Sion, you could put Talia, but really, Aurelia should be able to take out either of them. Fnatic has a much more poke-heavy comp with the Sion, Talia, and what's it called? The Ezreal, as well as the Olaf Axe. Very good poke on that team. Whereas RNG has more of the scaling comp. As well, once Aurelia feels strong enough, she's going to be able to split push as well. So they could either delay the game to 5 items, even 4 items. RNG will be significantly ahead with the awesome scaling of Vladimir and Caitlyn. Or if they want, they could send Aurelia into a side lane and force Fnatic to send somebody to stop her. And when they lose that battle, RNG can then engage on an objective or a favorable team fight. So really, the game is in RNG's hands, and with this next dragon in 2 minutes, it's going to be very interesting to see how Fnatic decides to play this, and and which objective that they're going to be focused on. Once again, a very effective Tahm Kench ultimate used onto an exposed laner. Double teleport. Wow, so many teleports. This is this quad teleport team from RNG, although currently at 3 teleports, they have the ability to do 4, and they're going to counter this aggression and this map movement from Tahm Kench to be able to pick up a couple of kills on their own. RNG starting to break this game, and although those kills are not going to stack well enough to be able to do a dragon in 1 minute or the Baron currently, what they can do is push out the waves and set themselves up for a future objective. But I could be mistaken. They could be going for this Baron right now. Wow. Double kill onto Fnatic, and now RNG is taking a 22-minute Baron. Junglers are both tied at 11-11 for levels, so both smites doing even amounts of damage. Aurelia looking to zone the jungler, and just a little bit too much damage that they're taking, and a little bit of stop and go with Fnatic being able to turn RNG off of the Baron, and unusual that they would start it as well. These are 2 very questionable Baron plays, both teams wanting to force the other ones to come into them. And if you're RNG right now, you do want to back off as soon as possible. Double CC onto Caitlyn, and it's a very questionable flash from Uzi. Now with 2 kills up, now that Fnatic can go ahead and do the Baron, and it does not appear that RNG can do anything about it. Karsa does have the flash, can choose to flash over this wall. Baron at 3,000 hit points. That was a flash over from Karsa. He has no longer any way into the pit other than right through the middle. Even though Braum going down, having Fnatic being chunked out, everyone less than half health. And RNG wants to go on to this. Let Me picking up the kill, going on to the whole team as Vladimir taking the even 1-for-1 trade. But Zhao, he was going to be looking for a 2-for-1. RNG picking up kills on the backside. Each team picking up advantages when the other extends a little bit too far. Now, RNG does not have to be afraid of Fnatic sneaking a Baron out from them. They can go back to base, they can push the waves in, and go towards this dragon. This dragon that's going to give them a nearly unbeatable double Infernal with a Wind Dragon with their comp that's going to scale well into 30-40 minutes. Just buying time is Xiaohu. He knows he's dead. Wanted to give the kill to Tom Kench, but not able to do so, and was just buying time for this dragon that very unusually that RNG just let go. Focused way more onto the Baron, and a good play from Reckless there. Not only his team picking up a kill, but picking up the very key objective there in the bottom. Fnatic's continuing damage to Baron, and an excellent ultimate from Sion. A not so excellent flash from Uzi in the wrong direction. Had to go towards his team, towards that top tri-bush. Most likely would have survived if that's what he did. Could have flashed right into the net, and he's by that time much farther away than what Fnatic would have been able to chase down. Unusual misplay here from Uzi. He is human after all. But with 3 items, Caitlyn starting to get very scary. Talia very close to getting that death cap. Currently sitting at 2 needlessly large rods. Will be a nice damage spike when he can go back and pick that up. Jungler using Predator. Doing just enough to knock Fnatic outside of the Baron. That's all they wanted to do. They have the inside track. They can go ahead and push mid lane in. There's not really much Fnatic can do about it. Excellent map rotation from RNG. Did not need to aggress on a fight there. Just zoned them out, picked up the mid turret. Now it's going to have much more control when fighting for these mid-game objectives. Everything's fairly even, just the top lane of Vladimir being able to farm a little better into the mid-game. Death cap picked up onto Vladimir. Has a whole lot of utility, but then just added a death cap on just for some extra damage. Cap's just picking up his death cap. Now starting to be able to do some burst level damage. Reckless probably at his strongest point right now. Has the double tier upgrade. Has the Trinity Force. 2nd level boots. This is make it or break it time for the Ezreal. Every minute past this, Caitlyn's just going to be able to get stronger and stronger. Caitlyn one-shotting these minions. Next dragon is not important. It is the Baron that is the important objective, as well as the top lane turret. Fnatic having the damage advantage, but it is RNG who's coming in through the flank. Vladimir getting the ultimate down onto Broxa is 3-on-1 effectively, as Vladimir getting all kinds of damage, getting 2 kills in exchange for 1. RNG coming out all kinds of ahead. They're going to be clearing out the vision on the map, most likely starting this Baron up. A 3-for-1 is enough of an advantage. Xiaohu on Aurelia is going to be doing the zoning effort. May choose instead to go in and do the damage, and there's not much that Fnatic can do here with 2 members behind. RNG getting that pivotal first Baron, 28-30. Fnatic going to try to get some sort of push going, but deciding they don't have enough time to go to bot lane. They're just going to put a little vision here on the enemy blue side. This is a very effective flank from Vladimir. Fnatic does not have any vision. In fact, getting the ultimate on 2 members is Vladimir. And enemy team in Fnatic not able to burst out the Vladimir in enough time before he can get a double kill. Let Me's have already a couple of excellent flanks. And this is bye-bye for the Taliyah, the biggest carry of Fnatic, taken out from the ultimate of Skarner. Taliyah does not have a Quicksilver Sash. Only the support having a Quicksilver on Fnatic. Very unusual in a professional game at the 30-minute mark. There's only one Quicksilver Sash against a Skarner. Ming doing an excellent job tanking the turret. They can get this down. Huge lead now for RNG. Still a long time with that Baron. Ocean Dragon coming up. In all likelihood, why RNG is going towards that area, but deciding against it. And if they were afraid of getting a team fight forced on them, I could see why they didn't want to take. They already have a very decisive lead here at 3,000. This Ocean Dragon at the 31-minute mark is not going to make much of a difference. And they're going to safely head back to their lanes and continue pushing. They're going to push that mid wave out and bot and looking to swing top lane. Seeing that Taliyah is alone again in the top, still no Quicksilver Sash. Going to use the ultimate. Excellent ultimate from Karsa, knocking Caps out again. And that's Caps going alone in the top lane, where definitely should not be. And Karsa, who has not played many games this tournament, doing a very admirable job on the Skarner. Not the number one reason why they're winning, but definitely a positive factor. And Fnatic not respecting the Skarner ultimate. His Baron power play is threatening to be in the 7,000-8,000 realm. And a fight breaking out. Caitlyn going down first, followed up by the support Ming. 2 kills going over towards Broxa. Traded up from Zhaohu. And a 2-for-1 from Fnatic. RNG going to be trading that right back up for a 2-for-2. Fnatic knocking out a couple of Barons, but there's not too much longer left on that. Looks like it just ran out. Baron power play 6,450. That was at the 7,000 mark, but Fnatic getting that positive trade, being able to bring that back. And this is RNG's game to lose. Just excellent teamwork. Fnatic really had to make some sort of play here, knocking out Uzi. Zhaohu having the growth, being able to get out. RNG realized another team fight or two, and this game is theirs. 4 members of Fnatic showing. Really a split pushing in the top lane. Vladimir heading towards bottom, getting pinged out. Destroying that control board. Well, deciding not to. Realizes there's all kinds of bottom on the bot vision on the bot wave. This is Fnatic engaging on a 4-on-5. Vladimir is following up through the backside. Big damage onto Karsa and Ming. Xiaohu in the back line trying to knock out Reckless. Gets Reckless out. Has a little bit less than half life. Doing as much damage on Caps as possible. Big job! Holy smokes by Xiaohu. Getting the kills. And that is going to be game from RNG. Getting a perfect 5-for-0 ace. Just the carries doing all kinds of damage. And RNG going to be taking down this first game at the 35-minute mark. Excellent job breaking it open towards the 10 to 15-minute mark and very slowly inching towards that Baron. Fnatic controlling the Baron pit to start the game off, but RNG picking up the team fight wins in the skirmishes, getting the 2 character advantage, knocking down that Baron, and then opening that game wide open, going right down the middle, getting that first inhibitor, following it up with more towers. Then the crucial team fight victory at the end, and victoire in Paris, France. 1-0 from RNG. Papa Smithy, very excited, very intrigued. And these guys are talking about what an excellent game that we just witnessed, and really there's a number of standouts on RNG's team. No solo carry, and makes you wonder, with Karsa performing admirably in this first game, are they going to pick him in the second game? Well, we're just going to have to find out. Exel here, game 1, MSI, RNG being able to take it over the European hopefuls, the hometown heroes here in Paris, France, at MSI, Fnatic. And we're going to have to see game 2 coming right up. Once again, Exel here at MSI, game 1 going in the books, going down for Uzi and RNG.